There's no denying that reading sheet music is the best skill a pianist can have because it opens up a whole world of possibilities when it comes to playing songs. I'm so happy to my younger self because I really put in so much work to get to a place where I can pretty much read any song and be able to play it. Just the other day, I was listening to this song called Ballerina by Yechezkel Raz, and it's such a beautiful song and I really wanted to play it. So I went online and I bought the sheet music, and just by glancing at it, even just hearing it, I knew that I could play it within 5 minutes of learning. That's an incredible skill to have, and it's something that comes from experience, from learning a lot of songs and really challenging yourself. So if you really want to up your piano game, learn how to read sheet music, you won't regret it. As a beginner, you're taught to memorize each note and read songs note by note, but as you get better and better and more experienced, you read music in a very different way. And today I want to show you my process of reading sheet music as a person that's been reading sheet music for more than 10 years. And hopefully with this video, you get some insight on how the pros read sheet music and how it differs from the beginner mindset, and maybe try to apply these concepts into the songs that you're learning. I don't know what to call this, but the first concept that I use to read sheet music, especially for the left hand, is to look at patterns and at groups of notes as a whole and not just individual notes. So for example, if I had these three notes, the F, A, and C, they're not separate notes, they're really one group and they make up a triad chord. They make up the F major chord. So if I see a group of notes stacked up like this, I don't have to read every single note to know what to play. All I have to look at is the first note, and then I know what these two notes are. And this is true with any notes that's bunched up like this. If I have this one, this is the E minor chord, this is the G major chord. These are all just basic triads, and they're structured in this way where you have a note, you skip this note, play a note, then you skip a note on this line, then you put a note on the next space. So instead of reading the notes note by note, I just read it in a group. I see it all together. It all makes sense. If it's grouped up like that, I know exactly what it is, and it just saves me a lot of time. If I saw a group that looks like this, regardless of what these notes are, I know that the notes will look like this. The right notes are F, A, and B. If the notes look like this, I know that it's not going to be the regular triad chord, it's one note up. And that's going to be the D, F, A, D. That's a D minor chord. So looking at notes in this way, again, saves you so much time. Instead of thinking about, okay, I'm playing the F, A, and D, I just see a group of notes and I know how it's going to be shaped, how it's going to be played on the piano. Next, if I have a group of notes that look like this, I know exactly what to play just by looking at it without reading all the notes. I know the space between this note and this note is 5 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be the E. So I'm playing the C, G, and E all together. This is also a basic triad chord. You're just taking the middle note and bringing it up an octave. So anytime I see 3 notes grouped like this, I know that this is what I'm going to be playing. Let's do another example. I have these notes. I could already tell that I'm playing the E minor triad. I'm playing the E, B, and G. The next concept applies to just the right hand. And the thing about the right hand notes is that it usually follows the chords or the notes in the left hand. So if I'm playing the D minor chord in the left hand, the melody in the right hand will have these notes just played in a different order. So in the left hand, we have the D minor, and then I'm gonna play the notes in the right hand. Those sound good together. I'll make a melody out of it. Even though I played these 2 notes, my melody was still really focused on these 3 notes. If they weren't focused on those 3 notes and they were focused on these notes instead, it probably would not sound good. Let's try that. There's already like some dissonance. It doesn't sound that great. So the melody always follows the notes in the left hand. Once you realize this, you'll be able to really read sheet music pretty fast, especially the right hand, because it all makes sense. It's not some random notes that you're playing left hand and right hand. If you're playing the D minor chord, you're playing the D note or the F note or the A note in the right hand. I'm going to go through an actual song. It's called Ballerina by Yechezkel Raz. It's a beautiful song, and I'm going to show you how these concepts apply to this one. In the left hand, we're only playing basic triad chords because all the chords look the same like this. They're all evenly spaced. They don't look like this, right? Or this. So the first measure is just playing the E flat major chord, and we're just playing it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the next measure, we're playing also a basic triad chord, and that starts on the G. So that means I'm playing the G minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we go back to the E flat. Now we have this very familiar looking chord where it's spaced like this, and we're playing a basic triad chord, but spaced differently. The third note in the chord goes up to the top. And the first note is a C, so I'm playing the C minor triad. Then we're playing the F minor. Now for the next measure, we're not playing a basic triad. We're playing the F and then two unevenly spaced notes. They're not spaced correctly for a basic triad chord. And I don't really have to read these notes. I know what they are. It's a B and a D, but just by looking at the F minor, I know that the next measure, it's the same F, but we're moving the other fingers up to one key. So that's the B flat major chord. So that's the left hand of the song. Let's see how the right hand corresponds with the left hand. So in the left hand, we're playing this E flat major chord. Now in the right hand, we're going to be playing the G, E flat, and B flat. Guess what this is? This is the E flat major chord. It's just an inversion. Inversion just means that I'm playing the notes in a different order. So instead of playing it like this, E flat major, E flat, G, B flat, I'm playing B flat, E flat, G. In the next measure, I'm playing all the same notes besides the middle note. It's going down one key, and that's the G minor chord. Same chord in the left hand. Goes back to E, back to G. And then we're playing the F minor chord, just like the left hand. In the next measure, we're playing E flat, C, and A, and that's the C minor chord in the left hand. This is a super simple but beautiful song. So if you're interested, play this song, enjoy the process of learning, take your time. It's not easy. What I just told you, these two concepts are something that takes time to develop. You may still be super confused about what I just did and how I'm making these little connections and how I'm learning the song so fast. But trust me, it's all about the work that you put in. So the more songs you learn, the better you're going to get. So good luck. I'll see you in the next one.